Have you ever wondered how investors make an investment decision, or why they are so passionate about the company, founder, and the product that they invest in? And more importantly, why they stay the course? I am Naganand Doraswamy of Ideaspring Capital, and we invest in startups that are developing new products and technology for a better world. I'm here to let you in on why we invest in them. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Through the Eyes of the Investor, presented by YourStory. I'm your host, Naganand Doraswamy, founder and managing director of Ideaspring Capital. In this show, we give you insights on our investment in our startups and our continued engagement with them. In this episode, we will cover Simyog. Simyog is a Bengaluru-based startup founded by Dipanjan Gope, who is an assistant professor at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, a very prestigious institution, and also an entrepreneur, which I believe is a very rare combination, at least in the Indian context. They are addressing the problem of electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic capability, commonly called EMI/EMC, in the automotive electronics. As we all know, 60 to 80% of today's automobiles have some electronic components in them, and whenever you have so many electronic components, there is always an issue of EMI/EMC. Up until now, the only way to catch any EMI/EMC related issues was when you took the final product to the chamber to test this. But that is very late in the design cycle or the product cycle, as it will cost companies billions of dollars to go back and redesign the product if there are any issues found at that stage. Simyog is addressing this exact problem by giving a system level simulation for all the designers to catch these issues very early on in the design cycle, and not only that, giving them clues as to how to resolve it. We at Ideaspring strongly believe for deep tech startups to emerge out of India, there has to be strong partnership between industry, academia, and investors. Bosch had identified a problem that was very relevant to them, which they funded in the IISc that Dipanjan was heading, and Dipanjan was able to come up with algorithms to solve that problem, and that is how Simyog emerged. And Ideaspring is very, very glad to have met with Dipanjan, discussed this problem and discussed the company, and then go ahead and fund it. We had one concern in terms of funding a professor, because professors typically don't want to do startups. But this case was very different because Dipanjan was already an entrepreneur, had done a company in the US that had exited, but his intention was to do a much larger startup in India, based out of India, and take something very vital to the market. And that excited us quite a bit, and hence we went ahead and invested in Simyog along with Bosch and also IISc. The space that Simyog is in is very relevant, as 60 to 80% of the automobiles will have some electronics or power electronics component that accentuates the EMI/EMC problems. Simyog is solving this problem at a very algorithmic level, and hence it is a very deep technical product, and also the applications is mostly engineering oriented. In terms of scale, finding the right set of technical people as the company starts to scale is something we have to watch out for, because this is a very, very deep tech oriented company. Founding members of Simyog are very, very strong. They're all PhDs from Indian Institute of Science. But as we start to scale, this is something that we will definitely watch out for, because this talent, unlike other companies, will be very hard to get. The problem space that Simyog is in is very, very real, because the number of electronics in the automobiles is constantly going up. Simyog has figured out the algorithms to solve this, but now we are spending our time in ensuring that the data is correlated to what the readings one would actually get in the EMI/EMC chamber. In addition to that, we are also looking at bringing in machine learning to compress the time of simulations, because these simulations take hours to run, and typically you don't want to run a simulation and take another 12 hours or 15 hours before you run the next simulation once you find the problem. And Simyog is also now trying to bring in machine learning to compress this time as well. So once we are able to incorporate these capabilities in the product, I believe we'll have an exciting product which is very deeply, very technical, and which the customers can use to compress the time it takes to design products, to bring it to market, and we are expecting that it will save billions of dollars in the industry. The space that Simyog is in can be broadly categorized in the electronic design automation, or EDA, which have the likes of Synopsys, Cadence and Ansys, where they solve specific problems in the industry as and when the chip design or automobile design or other such things evolve in the industry. Simyog is solving one such problem. I'm very confident with the team that exists out there, and with the research background that Dipanjan and his team bring to the table. They will solve this problem, and they will be a company to reckon with in the EDA space. Once this happens, I'm quite confident that some of the large EDA companies will look at partnering with Simyog, and they will become a very successful company in the years to come. The other factor that actually excites us quite a bit once Simyog is successful is that will basically help other professors, help other PhD students in these institutes to actually work on other deep tech startups. Simyog is one of the very few deep tech innovative companies in India, and I'm hoping that we will see a lot more deep tech innovation emerge out of India, because that is very critical as a country that we have more deep tech startup innovations. Thanks a lot for watching the show, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Watch out for more episodes where we will cover more startups from our portfolio.